Hello, let's talk about International Human Resource Management. I'm Irfan, and today me and my groupmates will cover the topic Standardization and Localization. I'm going to start with the introduction towards Standardization and Localization. Standardization ensures high-quality content and brand consistency in every single market. On the other hand, localization strategy focus on approaching each market at an individual level. Both are approaches that can benefit a company, but each may not be best suited for certain kinds of business. According to Michel Grant, standardization is the process of creating protocol to guide the creation of a good or service based on the consensus of all the relevant parties in the industry. Standardization also helps to ensure the safety, interoperability, and compatibility of goods produced. Next is localization. Product localization means adapting or modifying a good or service for a given language, culture, or region. Many confuse localization and translation, but the truth is, translation is only one part of the process. For a new target audience to trust and buy your product, it has to look and feel like the locals too. Now, I'm going to pass to Fasihah.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Fasihah binti Jamaluddin, and I'm going to present about the issues of standardization and localization in IHRM. In a global organization, the aspects of HRM in the internalization of the business usually begin in the strategic stage. The standardization and localization of an international company, policies, processes, and activities must be compatible with the host country. The multinational corporations are also demand that their procedures and policies are also important and to be strictly implemented in order to secure the target sectors. First, IHRM standardization can be viewed as this viewpoint as a practical management effort by the MNEs to pass their HRM policies and procedures to the international operations. But the problem then became an interaction between who has the authority to make decisions and what is to agreed about the operating processes. Diverse strategies and values often result in clashing viewpoints, which may be more prevalent as the cultural complexity increases. MNCs should be involved in deciding whether to make improvements to their various branches in terms of standardization and localization in order to be successful globally. Without these features, there will be a few ways to distinguish their business from its major rivals, posing a threat to the company's success. Next, MNCs should encourage all the companies to perform localization if the core competencies are not involved in the enterprise. However, the challenge of standardization and localization is maintaining the balance of HRM factors such as policies, procedures, function, firm scale, and also development. Since the cultures and external factors of the local environment influence the organization mode and position, meaning that every corporate culture of an organization has a very huge effect of standardizing. So in short, maintaining globalization in corporate elements are quite simple and achievable, but international organizations must understand that while making the local adaptations and also exceptions, standards are required to drive localization. That's all for the issues. Thank you!
Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm Muhamad Razif and I'm going to be speaking about several organizational examples of companies that implement standardization and localization of their international human resource management practices. First of all, companies standardize their IHRM practices because they can reduce the cost and also increase the efficiency of their business operations. Hewlett-Packard, or better known as HP, is one of the biggest technology-based companies that manufactures electronic devices. HP implements a standardized performance appraisal system, which is the company's mechanism to evaluate the performance of their employees. A goal-oriented appraisal approach known as Management by Objectives, or MBO, has been the standard where employees are assessed based on the end results of their assignments. So, MBO approach can be well accepted by HP's local operation because American employees are known to be individualists and they emphasize on the individual performance. However, for a collectivist culture, may not prefer this approach as they emphasize on the cooperation rather than competition. Unlike standardization, some companies implement localization of their IHRM practices. One apparent reason to this is they need to quickly adapt to local cultures and regulations of their host countries. Coca-Cola is an example of a company that localized one of their IHRM practices, which is in terms of their international compensation package. Coca-Cola has adopted a program called Equity Stewardship Guidelines since 2014, when the company began restructuring their compensation package by increasing their flexibility to be aligned with host countries' regulations. This indicates that different ways of compensating employees will be utilized in different countries. For instance, Coca-Cola needs to follow a new set of regulations and laws implemented by the Indonesian government when they are compensating their employees in Indonesia. This includes the rate of salary and specific taxation requirements. Therefore, standardization and localization have advantages and also drawbacks. Thorough investigation and study need to be done before a company decides to go for any one of them.
In conclusion, one of the most critical managerial aspects of internalization is human resource management. In every single market, standardization ensures a high-quality content and brand consistency. On the other side, a localization strategy focuses on a particular approach of each market. Both are global approaches that can benefit a company and try to balance the HRM factors of the company, including strategy structure, firm size, and maturity. So multinational companies must decide whether to operate with standard HR need to be implemented in the all worldwide subsidiary or to be localized accordance with the host country's institutional standards such as law and legislations, as well as the parent company should value the culture and traditions of the host nation when implementing HR policies globally. Therefore, if multinational companies are determined to standardize or locate their operations internationally, they need to be able to react globally and locally.
Hello, my name is Amani, binti Mohd Rais. So, globalization has resulted in the expansion of numerous organizations around the world. However, a standardized strategy often leads to unfavorable effect on the organization's performance when dealing with their overseas subordinates. This is because different host countries need different approaches in IHRM practices. Take a technological company Hewlett Packard or HP as an example. It is advisable for HP to utilize an organization development-based performance appraisal system in collectivist societies such as South Korea. Another example is the car manufacturing company Toyota. It is recommended for a Japanese company like Toyota to opt for a polycentric approach when staffing their employees in host countries. This is because local staff would find it challenging to adapt. Although there are cases when companies are obligated to implement a localized strategy due to the host country's laws and regulations, such as when Coca-Cola decided to expand to the Indonesian market. Nevertheless, it is achievable for companies to maintain globalization.